Need your foundation to last all day, but you don't know what to do next? Let's start first with skin prep. You need to know the right skincare for your specific skincare needs. Next, you need to know what kind of foundation you're using and what the base is. You have silicone base, and silicone base is great for all skin types. It locks in moisture for dry skin, and it also helps from your oil breaking through if you have an oily face. The next thing that you have is water-based. You're going to notice water-based because it'll be a majority of water. It's more drippier. And don't forget your oil-based or blended foundations, which are great for hydration and for dry skin. I suggest always sticking with the same line because they typically tend to have products that work well together, especially with your primers. You really need to consider what kind of primer you're using. The silicone base with the silicone foundations, or water-based foundations that tend to work with most foundations. Again, it's super important to use the same line so you know if they're going to work well together and be buildable and blend well together. This is going to be key so that your foundation doesn't break up later. When it comes to coverage, most people tend to know what they want, but when it comes to finishes, most foundations are broken down to about 3 different styles. You have the dewy finish, which is great for dry skin and has a slight glow or wetness appearance to it. You also have a velvet, or also called a satin finish, which is for combo type skin. And then you normally have a range of matte styles, some that come in liquid. Or if you have more of an oily type skin, you would tend to do a powder finish, which gives you a more flat appearance and help to minimize that shine that's caused by your oil. Have you considered the tools that you use also to apply that finish? For more drippier foundations, you're going to want to make sure that you do the hand test. You're going to apply your foundation to the back of your hand, and if it doesn't move, it's thicker and you can use your beauty blender. If it tends to run down, then you're going to want to use a brush because that helps to use the thinner foundations and apply them more evenly to your face. Also consider if you're applying evenly, start off into the middle of your face and work outwards. This will help to get the most coverage in the places that you need and to slowly begin to minimize in the areas that you need it the least. That way you have no cakiness. And also fun technique is to make sure when you dampen your beauty bud, use warm water and squeeze the excess out on a towel. This will help not to pick up extra makeup, but only press in an even amount while you're tapping into your skin. Also understand that you may be applying more layers as you go, so that can be typically a sign that you need a fuller coverage foundation. Keep an eye on the words buildable because this means you can continue to increase the coverage without it getting cakey. Also, have a healthy relationship with your setting spray. It's okay to use liberally, but make sure that you're pulling it further back, at least 12 inches, so that way you're not dousing your face, but you're actually just spritzing it to help blend in the foundation in an even manner. You can always go back and apply your concealers to add more coverage, but you don't want to include it right underneath your eye. The further down your face, the better, because this is going to help not allow creasing by applying too much product in underneath the folds that we would have as we're aging, which would be up under the eye. I like using more fluffier brushes to put a light touch up underneath my eye. Remember that the denser the brush is, the more coverage you get, and the fluffier, the lighter of a touch that you have with your foundation application. Also make sure to use the flat end of your beauty bud to get the majority of your face and use the pointed end for fine-tune areas like around your eye. When using powder, you want to stay away from the middle of your forehead area since that's where you're maturing, and just keep it around the edges of your face as you're applying your bronzer area or dulling your shine. Powder can be an absolute no-no, so using a little amount with just a small brush can actually help be more effective in getting the oils or setting your creases rather than more. We don't want to do what the YouTubers do and bake too much under our eyes. This tends to age us drastically. I know I'm repeating myself, but the bigger, the fluffier the brush is fine for all over face. Just make sure you're not applying too much. Try these tips and let me know how they work for you. You'll be surprised to know you can end up having almost a 10-hour wear. And if you want a more glowy foundation look, make sure that you check my next video out. Follow me for more tips.